I want to talk to you about commercial fleet financing, and this will be a review of this lender. And the cool thing about commercial fleet is that the company gives you a flexibility, okay? And you can actually look for commercial fleet financing. You can actually ask them for other loans, not just for equipment financing, because when this started a couple of years ago, they were doing only equipment financing or even equipment leasing. But nowadays, they do other stuff too. And I'll tell you later on into this conversation. But let me first define for you what CFF really means. I mean, CFF stands for Commercial Fleet Financing, okay? So this is actually a small business lending company specializing in transportation financing, okay? So you're talking about all kinds of vehicles that actually are important in the delivery business. So semi truck, trailers, tow trucks, box trucks, cargo vans, sprinter vans, construction equipment. So you have all kinds of equipment, all kinds of vehicles and equipment pieces that are used in this nation's economy. Okay. So, and the company has been around for a while, more than 30 years. That's pretty good. It tells you a lot about their proven track record. They actually were founded in 1995. They were founded in 1995. And ever since, they've been actually lending billions of dollars in commercial fleet transactions. Okay, and the company is based in Texas, by the way. They're based in Texas, and they offer actually a quick and convenient way to actually apply online. Okay, they have quick turnarounds, tremendous turnarounds. Okay, and so you have also quick turnarounds on financing, but also approval. Okay, and they have no hidden fees. So I love that. Anytime you have a lender that has no hidden fees, I appreciate that because it tells you here's a lender who wants to do business with the public. Okay, so when I say commercial fleet, I'm speaking about. I want you to really open your eyes to all possibilities because a commercial fleet refers to groups of trucks, vehicles, or other equipment used for business purposes. Not just vehicles, okay, but it can also be equipment. It just has to be used for business purposes for it to qualify for commercial fleet. Okay. Now examples like I think I gave this to you earlier, but examples of commercial vehicles you can finance with CFF includes ambulance and EMS vehicles, light and medium duty trucks like cargo vans, sprinter van, box trucks, construction equipment, bulldozers, excavators, box trucks, tow trucks, trailers, semi truck fleets. So if you think about CFF, they have a streamlined approach to fleet financing. Okay, so I want to talk to you a little bit about how CFF actually works. So your business can actually finance one truck at a time or a whole fleet using equipment financing. Okay, it's all about how you structure your business application. It's how you structure your business profile too. You can apply after finding the vehicles you want to purchase, or get pre-approved before beginning to look for the vehicle or vehicles. And CFF offers three main financing options for fleet and equipment acquisition. All three have the exact loan amounts, but they function differently. Okay, so CFF loan amounts go from 10,000 all the way to $1 million. This is pretty good. 10,000 all the way to $1 million. And CFF equipment financing products allows businesses to buy commercial equipment and vehicles. So this is kind of cool. So after the equipment financing application process and approval, CFF sends the funds directly to the dealership. So they don't actually send you the money. Okay, they will send the money directly to the dealership, merchant, or independent seller. Okay, and you can then make scheduled payments to CFF for the loan term. And once you finish paying off the loan, you own the fleet. Okay, so this can be 5 years, 10 years, it can be 15 years. It really depends on the transaction periods. Okay, and so that's for equipment financing. You also have equipment leasing. So CFF also provides funding to lease commercial fleets, and leasing usually means a lower monthly repayment than equipment financing, but you don't actually own the equipment at the end of the lease term. So you have possibilities here, but you don't have the ownership that goes with it. Okay, so if this is part of your business model, why not? This could be a great opportunity for you. So equipment financing, equipment leasing. You also have auction lines of credit. So CFF's unique auction lines of credit fund purchasing commercial trucks, vehicles, or equipment at an auction. If approved, you will receive an auction line of credit letter and can purchase items up to the credit limit. And after the auction, you can send the bill of sale to CFF, and the company will issue the funds again directly to the auction house. No money will ever flow to you. Okay, it goes to the auction house right away. So if you think about CFF, what kind of qualifications can you really expect? Let's talk about that. So one thing I want you to really understand here is that CFF doesn't publish eligibility minimums for credit scores, time in business, or annual revenue. The lender does state that most of its approved equipment financing clients have a minimum credit score of 640. But based on my research and my team's research, we see that even if you have a 600 credit score, they will work with you, not a problem, okay? So one thing I also want you to really understand here is that credit approval options exist for business owners that even have credit score below 600 or even 550. Okay, so one of the programs that CFF has is called the Fresh Start. It's really intended for applicants with damaged credit, such as having poor liens, judgments, or bankruptcy. And CFF states that the rates are higher and the terms are more rigid, but it does provide funding for these situations. Okay, so you have a lender that's pretty open, that's pretty flexible, that will work with all kinds of credit score profiles. Okay, and also you need to understand that for commercial fleet financing, you can only find out your equipment financing rates by applying. There's no way to actually have rates beforehand. No, CFF doesn't publish its interest rates or fees, making comparing it to other lenders very difficult. And CFF claims it has no hidden fees. And also, CFF does state its interest rates are compatible with banks and credit unions. However, that mostly seems for small business owners with outstanding credit. Okay, the lower your credit score, the higher your interest will be in most cases. And CFF also states that borrowers with less than perfect credit, must actually make a down payment of 20%. So this is kind of something to really understand here. And but this thing is that things happen on a case by case basis. Okay, it's just better if you have questions on that front. Let me know in the comment section, and I can certainly get back to you and explain to you. Maybe see how your situation can actually you can tailor your application to make sure that CFF does approve you. Now, CFF doesn't have a business loan affiliate program per se, but they offer programs for dealers and private vehicle sellers to use CFF equipment financing options. So if you think about commercial fleet financing, how do you apply this year? How do you make sure that you take advantage of a CFF and make sure that you're basically doing things the right way, the way they want to do stuff? Okay. It's important to understand that you want to go first to the CFF website. There you have all kinds of info, all kinds of data. Okay. You want to visit the CFF websites and complete the one-page online application. And so CFF doesn't do a hard pull. They do a soft pull. And the soft pull is pretty good because it doesn't affect your credit score at all. Okay. The company will look at both your personal and business credit. Okay. So this is kind of cool. And so CFF does provide a fast turnaround on approving or denying loans in as little as 2 hours. You might have to supply business bank account statements, tax returns, and proof of time in business because they do not want to really finance startups. Okay. They want to make sure that you've been around for a while. And you also need to finalize the paperwork because after approval, CFF sends contracts that include the VIN, the selling price, the terms, and monthly payment amount. So you have possibility, and what you have to do is that you want to send back the signed contracts dealer paperwork, and proof of insurance for the financed item. Okay, and that's it, and you get funded. Okay, from that point on, CFF will fund loan, and they do fund loan quickly. Sometimes as soon as 24 hours. Okay, 24 hours, you're good to go. You're really good to go. Now, one thing I want to understand here is that once CFF issues the equipment purchase or lease funds, the seller delivers the vehicles or equipment to your small business. You also have full access to the equipment to use for business purposes. You are responsible for maintaining insurance on the equipment. You will most likely add the equipment to an existing insurance policy. And while the equipment is under financing, you must insure it against loss, including property and casualty coverage and liability. So this is kind of cool, and this is really fantastic from a flexibility point of view. So, what are the advantages of commercial fleet financing here? So, if you go with CFF this year, you really need to understand that what I love about this company is that, first of all, they've been around for a while now. So, we're talking 30 years, okay? This is pretty good. And so, you are looking at the country, one of the country's top independently owned commercial transportation and equipment financing businesses. What I love about this company is that they've been around for a while, which means what? They have a proven track record. Okay. For me, anytime you've been in business for that long, you must be doing something right. Otherwise, the market would have punished you a long time ago. So if the market has allowed you to succeed, to flourish, you must be doing something right. And so that's pretty good. And you also get a convenient online application with minimal documentation requirements. Okay. You can get a credit decision in as little as 2 hours. Okay. And if approved, your loan or lease can be funded within 24 hours if you think about it. It's an excellent solution for enterprises needing fast funding for business equipment. Okay. And one thing I want to say here is that you have the possibility to be really flexible here. And another significant benefit of CFF is that they don't place an age restriction on the equipment. But that's really good because if you want to finance equipment that's 20 years old or even 10 years old or even 2 years old, you will find a great report, a great relationship with CFF, no problem. Because some lenders, based on my experience and my team's experience, some lenders will only finance vehicles or equipment that are new or only have a few years of service. Okay, so that's really good. But CFF doesn't do that. They will really finance whatever equipment you have. Of course, the equipment has to have useful life. Okay, it has to be able to be resaleable. Okay, and CFF provides funding and loans up to $1 million, and you can finance 100% of the cost if you have excellent credit. That's really good to really think about it from that point of view. Okay, and one thing I want to say here is that you have the possibility to get things done real fast. So what about the disadvantages of CFF? Well, the biggest drawback when it comes to CFF here is that you have lack of transparency on rates, fees, and terms. Okay, you must apply to discover how much you'll pay, and you will need a minimum personal credit score of 640 to qualify for the best rates and no down payment. And so if you have a low credit score, you could still actually qualify, but CFF might ask you to actually make a down payment of 20% now. I mean, depending on the cost of the equipment, 20% could be a lot of money. And that could be discouraging depending on your financial situation. So, what are the pros and cons here? If you think about CFF, what kind of pros and cons can you think about? Well, the pros first. You have convenient online application, right? And what I love is that with CFF, you are able to have credit decisions within 2 hours. I mean, I've seen cases where basically CFF delivered their underwriting sort of business model in 2 to 4 hours, and the business owner knew exactly what was happening in 2 to 4 hours. Okay, it's actually possible to be approved that quickly. It's possible to even get funding within a day. So if you actually apply at 9 a.m. Pacific or 9 a.m. Eastern, it doesn't really matter. The geographic zone doesn't matter. But 9 a.m. in the morning, 9 a.m. you actually could be funded within let's say by 6 p.m. That's really good. That's really reassuring. if you need a equipment financed really fast, and you have minimal documentation requirements because the paperwork actually revolves around the equipment you are financing. Okay, so CFF doesn't really need your financial statements that much. Okay, if they have it, that's fine. But if they don't have it, that's fine too. There are no age restrictions on the equipment you are financing. Funding goes up to $1 million. You have unique auction lines or credit products. Good credit borrowers actually can borrow 100% of the fair value or fair market value. And the here is a lender that has no hidden fees. Okay. On the flip side, I think I've said this before. Anytime a lender doesn't have transparency on rates, fees, and terms, this can be a problem. Okay. A credit score of 600 to 640 can be required sometimes for the best terms, and low credit borrowers are required to make a 20% down payments depending on their situation. So just keep that in mind. So one thing you need to really understand here is that if you think about CFF, do I recommend CFF as a lender? Yes, definitely. If you're looking for commercial fleet financing, if you have the right vehicle, if your vehicle, the vehicle you're trying to finance fits the focus of CFF, I would say yeah, go with them. Like I said, they've been in business for 30 years, more than 30 years now. So they have a proven track record, having financed billions upon billions of dollars, small businesses in this country. Okay. And so CFF is really legit. This is a legitimate business lender. Okay. And they have actually served more than 10,000 clients. And so the Better Business Bureau, Triple B, actually accredits them with with a rating of A plus, which is really good. Okay. And you just have to really understand is that basically at the end of the day, it's just better to give the company a call before you start anything. Okay. The fact that you are actually you are getting a zero down financing is really good. You are able to get cash as soon as possible, and you can be pre-approved today. Okay, this is really good. That in terms of flexibility, you can't get better than that. Okay, but if commercial fleet financing denies you or declines you, you have the possibility to resort to something else. Okay, you can find something else. You can try to really have another situation and get things done properly. One thing I want you to really understand here is that you have the possibility to get things done, and you can also try other alternative lenders. Okay, you have the possibility to get things done in a certain way. One thing I want you to really understand here is that you can go to loan marketplaces, or you can go to direct lenders such as Balboa Capital. So because when it comes to commercial fleet financing, we are speaking about equipment financing. Not all lenders will offer equipment financing. Okay, but you have a few of them, such as Balboa Capital. They can really give you some funding. Now, if you don't qualify with Balboa Capital, I would say just go to a loan marketplace such as I'm blanking here, Lendu. I got it now, Lendu or National Business Capital. Okay, but long story short, this is a legit lender that you can trust with your loan application. So, in conclusion to this conversation, I spoke to you about commercial fleet financing, and I gave you everything you need to know about commercial fleet financing before making a determination. Thank you so much. God bless you. I will see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.